Hey fiber friends, it's Michelle back again with another episode of Stashdown. Thank you for joining me. If you are a return viewer or subscriber, thank you very much. And if you are a new viewer, welcome and thanks for checking this out. I ramble on about knitting and spinning and lately a lot of acquiring more. Although the title of these, the podcast is Stashdown, I've just decided that I'm not going to think about another, changing the title because I like the name of the title. I like the title. Stashdown is catchy, even if it's not exactly true. And I'm going to be picking at this nail because as I was trying to set up the camera, I shipped it. Taken the case off of my phone to see if maybe we could get some better microphone cooperation. I feel like, especially in the last one, I noticed it the most in the last episode. I have got to stop picking at my nail. That's just impolite. That I feel like, and I think this is just the kind of the way that I talk sometimes. But I noticed there was a few times where I was like, I can't hear you. You just keep dimming down the volume on the ends of your sentences. And so I don't know if it was just a mood that day or I hadn't noticed it before until the last episode, but I felt like it was multiple times in the last episode. I just had a hard time hearing myself. So apparently there isn't really any way that I could tell by Googling to, there's no microphone adjustments for real. Hang on. Now it's gone. That's the end of that. No microphone adjustments on the old iPhone. So unless it's specific to an app or something, it was just too much for me to deal with. I really should have just taken care of this nail before I started, because why do we have to pick at our nail or whatever little dumb thing is bothering us? Anyway, I have some good news. Speaking of changing the name of the episode of the podcast from Stashdown, because we're not doing any stashing down, I have some updates because I have been stashing down in terms of my projects. I'm going to show you this one first because it's most obvious. I think I showed this before. I can't remember. And you know what? I did not look up all of the information about the yarn, so I'm going to stick that in the description later today. This is the Bellini tee, and a few of you have made it, I think, that are probably going to watch. Contributed, I had FOMO, and so I went ahead and went for it, and I was intrigued by a garment that I could wear that would only take 2 skeins of yarn, and it did. In fact, I have probably a good third of a skein left over there. So that was pretty amazing. I think most sizes just took 2, so I thought that was kind of cool. And I justified buying the yarn back in, I think I got the yarn actually, no, I did not. I got it before Worldwide Knit in Public Day because I believe I cast on Worldwide Knit in Public Day. I think I had done my swatch and I think I cast on that day. Something like that. So anyway, I got this at the end of May. I believe this yarn, was at the end of May that I purchased it, and I wasn't sure how I was going to like it. It is a linen cotton blend, and I typically don't like a cotton. Like some people, it's hard on my hands, and I did like working with, although I don't think it's all cotton, Barocco Remix Light. I made a t-shirt style top for my mom a couple of years ago, and that was okay. I mean, I guess that's one of the ones that I've knit where I didn't love it, but it wasn't like, oh, I finished it, and it wasn't like I can't wait to finish this because I hate knitting with this, but it wasn't my favorite. I do love a wool, and but this, I really enjoyed it, very much so, and I actually ended up getting a couple more colorways. I'm gonna make another one of these in a different colorway. It's another self-striping, but I want to say it's more like almost sunset-y colors, and I don't think I got another one like that. Wouldn't have made sense to get another one like this. It seems like all of the colorways for this yarn, and I am forgetting the other, I think Bellini is also the name of it's either the name of the yarn from the company or the name of the company. I'll put it, I meant to look this up before I sat down here to do this and I failed. I was just too excited to get on here and show you the finished objects. And I'll stand up in a second so you can see the whole thing, but I so enjoyed knitting this. And I was thinking that the colorways are all just numbers, like, I don't know, 502, 510, that kind of thing. So that wouldn't mean anything. But I feel like I think there's only like maybe 5 or 6 different colorways, maybe 7 at the most. And they all look to me like some variation on a rainbow. This is kind of the most classic rainbow colors. I'm just gonna stand and show ya ooh, hello girls. Hi girls. Oh, maybe we just can't. Let me take a sneak peek into the fiber closet there. When I gesture to my right, that's what I'm gesturing to. Anyway, very cute. I love it. I love it. And it's just a stockinette with a little cute eyelet raglan. But otherwise, super simple construction, fast. Although it went quick when I was working on it, but like, as you know, I am not a monogamous knitter. I just think the fit is really cute. I don't mind the horizontal stripes over the girls. I don't think that's bad at all because they're pretty thin. But knitting with this yarn is so fun. It's just like, when you get the self-striping stuff, it's so fun because it just doesn't get boring. You can do a stockinette. Of course, once I split for sleeves, it was just stockinette, but it was so fun to just watch the colors just keep changing and stuff. So I love that. And so I'm looking forward to, I think the one that's the pretty different colorway, different color stripes, I'm going to do another one of these because I just love this. It's just cute. And then the other one, I think I'm going to do the hipster tee. I don't remember the designer. The hipster tee, which I will also credit in the comments because I suck at getting my information together before I jump on. So I finished this on Friday evening, blocked it, and on Saturday I finished the Stashdown Along project, which I'm going to call the Stashdown Alone because I did it solo because nobody joined me. But it's done and it's blocked. And the picot edge only took me like 3 days. 3 or 4 good sittings actually of several hours apiece. Because by the end, this schlanket, gotta cut my tie. I just picked this up off the blocking mat, so I gotta cut all they're all weaved in, but I have to cut. Super long border. 598 stitches across the bottom. Thank you, Stephen West. But I'm amazed because where did I start this? So I'm trying to remember. I think looking for my ends. I had to get another skein of this. I'm trying to remember too. Like I know when I picked this back up again couple weeks before our trip, I was like, I had probably less than half of my feeder book skein. Part of me left, and then the whole next skein. I think I still had a little bit of the first skein of the teal, I think. But I can't remember now. And then I'll definitely, like, if I was on the second skein, which I'm really pretty sure I started this, I'm trying to figure out where. Yes, indeed. I believe, that's my cat, if you can hear him, he's out in the hallway. I wonder if I was here. Look at this weird line. It's a weird line right here. You see that? Like, I think maybe that's where I started. Hold on, let me count this here. I don't know why that looks so pulled apart. I was using the same needles and everything. But it does look a little like there's a gap there. Wait, is that where it is? Or no, it's down here. Did I do a third row? No. No. I don't know why it looks like that. But I'm gonna go with, I'm pretty sure that where I started was maybe about here. Here, I think. When I pulled her out of jail. So I did all of that. I'm sure, because I know that I started, I started here, like I know I wasn't that far down. I'm sure I wasn't that far down. Couldn't have been. If I'm lying, I'm dying. But I think I was up here somewhere. And then you can see that also here, I ran out of that teal. I had to go get some more teal. Thank you, Ingrid, my good friend Ingrid at Spy Whimsy, for still having this yarn. It's one of the staples, I think. But still having the colorway, and the colorway, there really wasn't much of a problem with the lot here. It looks, you know, didn't miss a beat with the colorway, so, or the dye lot, even though it had been a couple years since I bought the yarn originally. I did end up doing the picot bind off stitch, sewing it down with the feeder brook, because I was pretty darn sure that even after I got that extra skein of the teal, I wasn't gonna get there. I was playing yarn chicken, but I still had a fair amount of the feeder brook left. So I went ahead, the pattern said if you were getting low on the main color that you could use the other color or another color just to stitch it down, or even to finish, because it's gonna be underneath. But I like the way it turned out. I think I did do, if you can see, I finished like the last couple rows of the back side of the picot border. If you haven't done this before, you get to your end and you do like a 1x1 rib, right? Yeah, a 1x1 rib with like every, I think it's like knit 1, purl 1, yarn over, knit 1, purl 1, yarn over, I think it is. And so, and then when you, after your yarn over row, then you just go back to knit 1, purl 1 until it's like, you know, double the, you know, until the, what am I saying? The knit 1, purl 1 sections are the same, you know, length. And then when you fold it, those yarn overs are what make these little divots right here. And then you stitch it and it just goes boink, and you don't have to pin those down. They just are cute little bumps. But it takes forever. Knitting the edge didn't take as long as I thought, but stitching it down took forever. But I love how I did, like I said, I did the last couple rows because I was running out of the teal. I just did it with the feeder brook, and then I stitched that whole thing down. Look how it just like is such a clean, I love how the stitch, it's easier to see as it gets lighter, like here, yeah. Don't look at me. How the stitch is, the feeder brook, it just looks cool like that. If that had been all teal, well, it would have been fine. But there's just something about that. It's cute. I really like the shawl. I have decided it's going to be my take it to work and leave in my office for when I need to throw something over my shoulders and it's chilly in the office shawl, because I have a lot of shawls, and it doesn't mean I don't love it and I'm just going to let it hang out at work. I just decided that's what I'm going to do. And oh my gosh, this is BF out. It's so squishy and really soft and lovely. Doesn't smell like lanolin anymore, but I don't even hate the baby poop brown. This kind of now looks to me like a big, I was gonna say sunflower, but that little half circle of brown is too small. More like a big giant, like black-eyed Susan or something. It reminds me of that. Like this is the center of the flower. So I no longer have hate for the brown half circle here. Not at all. Because it, you know, it translates into some of the other stripes, and then the other stripes did do some fun things along the way. And I think it goes really well with the teal. So in the end, a project I thought I hated and had in jail because it made me so mad, I ended up really enjoying finishing it. And honestly, like I said, I'm pretty sure when I picked it up, I started right about here. It's not very far, I'm pretty sure. Either way, I mean, it wasn't very big across. I don't remember how many stitches across it was at that point. I wasn't counting, but you know, still pretty wide about that far, you know, and this isn't that wide, but as you go down the bottom, it's wider, because this thing increases. So the pattern row is like 16 stitches once you get into these diamonds. It's like a 16 row repeat, I think. Am I thinking of a different pattern now? Anyway, it increases like every fourth row on both sides. So this thing is growing like a weed, and so ergo, it's gonna just keep, you know, the farther you go, it's gonna keep taking longer and longer, right, to get from one side to the other. I picked this up, I think it was somewhere around 2 weeks before the trip. Cruised on it a bit. Oh my God, is that a dropped stitch? You are kidding me. No, yes it is. This, oh my God, okay. We're gonna repair that. It's fixable. We do have a little bit of the teal left. I just said I didn't hate you. I just said that it turned out I loved you, and now look what you've done to me. And do you think it's gonna take forever to find that again? No, you know, I still have a love-hate relationship with that shawl. Just trying to say nice things. I'm done talking about that shawl. I finished a third shawl over the weekend. I haven't blocked it yet, so it's all kind of smushed and not very shapely. But this is the Through Lines shawl by, of course, Andrew Moore. This is gonna be blocked out to a point. So it's, you know, a really big giant skinny triangle. But this was Brooklyn Tweed, you know, before Brooklyn Tweed decided to tell us they were going out of business. And of course I got low on the black. I ended up not running out of the white, but the black and the white are Brooklyn Tweed. And then the little color changing, it's actually purples. Spin Cycle, I don't know. Blanking on the colorway, but it's one that's all purples. This was a fun stitch. I enjoyed this pattern. I ran out of the, where'd you go? I started running out of the black. Whichever, it must have been this side. How far back did I start running out of the black? Kind of a ways back. I'm trying to find my ends here. All right. Trying to do a show. We're trying to do a podcast here. Here it is. Okay. Ran out of the black around about here. So about that much further to go. And I was like, what do I do now? There's no more Brooklyn Tweed. Fantastic. Then I thought I was going to run out of the white too, but I mean, because they were both getting a little bit low. But, you know, you don't use as much of the white, so that worked out okay. And I knew I was going to cruise on the Spin Cycle. So I was like, you know, that looks a little like the very, like, the black, super dark gray, black, Let Lopey. And so I got myself some black Let Lopey and some white Let Lopey that I never had to use. So I'm hoping I can just return that for some credit at the Sowsier. You know, I'd never had to take back a $35 skein of yarn, but one that was less than 10. It's okay. I'm not mad. Yeah, it blended really nicely. You can't even tell that it's different yarn, can you? Huh? Can you? I can't. And Let Lopey turned out to be slightly thicker. It's not really a fingering, but it worked out fine. And I did stripe it. I did alternate it for the first, I don't know, a couple sections until I really started getting low on the black. And I think it blended really nicely. So I That one wasn't, that was just kind of still a whip. And this was a whip, obviously, because I was pretty actively working on that. That one I worked on pretty consistently from about the time I got it. And I think I decided on my birthday, when that, right around the time that came out, I was like, I'm just going to buy myself some yarn for my birthday. 4 or 5 times, probably. And got that project. And then started it right away. And I think it was about end of May-ish, I think. I was, we were on a vacation up north in May for a week, and it was my primary project. I took a couple, I was also working on the Harlow flips, the ones with the plump yarn, and working on one of those for Tom. But I was also working on this, and that's when I started getting real low on the yarn. I was like, I guess I gotta put this one on hold. And then I went and got the Let Lopey, and I was like, yeah, this looks like it's gonna match really well. And then something else around here stole my focus. And so it had been sitting in a bag, a project bag downstairs. And so I thought, well, might as well pick up another project I'm pretty sure I can finish over a long holiday weekend. So I did, and that was, I think I finished that one. This one Friday night. Cable trellis shawl, it is now in the doghouse again, on Saturday, and then that one on Sunday. So pretty productive weekend. So this little project came up in my Instagram feed on Farmer's Daughter Fibers page. I think I first saw it when we were on our trip. But of course, after we were at the store. And it's a cute little tee. I'm gonna forget the name of it. I'm just like batting 1,000 here with not looking stuff up before I hop on here. Just was too excited to get it done. I will put it in below. But they're doing they're doing a couple of knit-alongs right now. One of them started on September 1st, and it was like more like a sweater cal. It kind of sort of started that with a swatch on some yarn from my stash. Some Odang DK. I'm gonna do the Nebula sweater. And Odang, if you have not tried Odang DK, it's the Suri alpaca from the DK weight Suri alpaca from Farmer's Daughter Fibers. It is like knitting with a bunny rabbit. Seems kind of mean, but oh my gosh, it's really fun to knit with. And it looks like the yarn itself looks like ragamuffin. It looks like a ragamuffin exploded into a long strand of ragamuffin. When I was winding it into balls, I was like, oh, this is the funniest looking yarn. And it's so soft, and it's kind of fun to work with. I'm a little nervous though, because I made a skein in the round gauge swatch. I made a gauge swatch for this, and of course didn't get gauge at all on the recommended needle size, which is odd for me, but it is a different it's a different yarn. It's different. I mean, it's Suri alpaca on a silk core. But it's DK, so it's weird. And like I said, it looks like a ragamuffin. It's cool. I did not bring any up here, but I'll do it in the next one. I'll have a show and tell on that one, because hopefully I'll have that one on the needles. But yeah, as far as I could tell by count, because it's hard to count the stitches because it's so fuzzy. It already looks like it's just all matted together, which is what I'm worried about. Like I like really overdid the loops behind the swatch, and I only have 3 skeins of it, and so I need all 3 of those skeins. I know she does an overage usually, but I don't think it's gonna be that. I mean, I have these mammoth strands in the back of it, so if I can't pull that swatch back out without it like pulling alpaca off of it and making it bald in patches, I'm gonna be sad. I did just kind of go down to, what did I do? I went down 2 needle sizes actually, because I didn't have the next size down. God, excuse me. I don't know, it doesn't look like it's set much better. I don't know, I might just say I like this fabric and I'm just gonna pay attention to, or I don't know. hate when I don't get gauge. I usually do get gauge, and I usually get gauge with the recommended needle. So it's irritating. So I blocked it. We'll see how it goes, because maybe I was starting to wonder, maybe this is one of those kind of yarns where the gauge is going to be different when you block it, and so don't worry, don't stress. Back to my acquisition. I can't remember the name of this t-shirt, but it's super cute. And they had kits, and there is, I think there's some kind of 2 knit along situation going with sweaters like Nebula and Broom, and then there were 2 or 3 others from other designers. I had color, I think one of them had color work, and one of them, I think it was might have been a cardigan, I can't remember. And then they had a different knit along. I'm a wreck today. I just now got something in it. I'm burping. Keep saying skein instead of swatch. What's the deal? Anyway, this t-shirt is, short sleeve t-shirt, and it's got like, it's a collar, and it has a V, and you can do buttons or not, or just leave it like an open V with like a little trim, and then this collar, and then it has like wide bands on the sleeves, and then like a wide band with inside of it a different color, more narrow band. Super cute. Super cute style of t-shirt, which is, what I'm doing right now. I'm getting into making t-shirts. And it's with Confluence cotton. So I justified that by saying that's a super cute t-shirt style shirt. And I haven't used Confluence cotton. So I'm just kidding. So and then I did myself dirty, because I looked at the kits that they had without realizing that it said that they were pre-order kits. And I thought, okay, well, I really like the light color, main color with the dark stripe version that they had. The other one was more of like a brown, and I can't remember what the colors of the stripes were, but I thought I kind of want to go on the light side, but I wanted it to be like a neutral color. I didn't want it to be like a pink or whatever, I wasn't sure what the other colorways were in Confluence cotton. So I hopped on the website and I started looking for a main color that I thought I might like better than the main color in one of the 2 kits. Bear with me, people. My body is just got other ideas. Anyway, there weren't any other lighter colors that I liked any better. And so I just decided to go with the kit that they had put together. And so, not thinking, I just placed an order because I figured I would have to order outside of the kits that they had. I think they only had 2 different kits. And so I was in that mindset where I was going to have to order the yarn. And so I just ordered the colors that were in the kit, placed the order, and then, I don't know, sometime later I thought, I bet that was a kit, and I wonder what the price difference is to get it as a kit versus get the individual yarn. Maybe it's the same, but I should probably check that out. So a couple days went by. I think the day after I purchased it, I got an email from Farmer's Daughter Fibers saying that part of my order said it was supposed to be shipped and the other part was to be picked up, and I was like, I don't know how that happened. But no, it all needs to be shipped because I live in Wisconsin. So she said, okay. And so that had already happened. And then it was like, yeah, I need to go and look. So I get on the website, and not only is the kit less expensive to get it as a kit, but it's a pre-order kit, which I hadn't seen. If I'd have seen that, I would have realized that, I don't know, something would have jogged in my head. And so it was probably a good $30 difference. I was surprised by that. I'm like, I don't remember kits. I feel like I've looked at kits before, and maybe, unless they're on sale, I guess they, sometimes kits, maybe they have a deal on them because they're trying to get kits out the door. But so I emailed back and I said, hey, this is what I did. I kind of spaced out because I was all excited trying to find different colors, and then I just kind of, I went with it. Oh, I understand that, but unfortunately it's been sent and this is a pre-order, so the best I can do is have you ship it back when you get it, and then we'll refund you. You can place the order again for one of the pre-order kits. And I was like, I'm sure you're not telling me I can ship this back for free. So I just kept it, just hung on to it. I'm like, you know what? By the time I ship it back, then I'll probably won't get the kit until, I don't know. I was like, forget it. I'm just going to keep it because I'll probably at that point only be saving a dumb amount of money, like something small. Not even a skein's worth of yarn money. So anyway, I don't need to hold up all of the main color. I can just hold these up. So this is Confluence Cotton by Farmer's Daughter Fibers. The base color is gray and it's called Winter Wolf. That's kind of a nice, just light medium gray. It's pretty. It reads in person a little more warm. I don't know if that comes across very well with the ring light and stuff, the way it's set on the ring light, but and it also looks lighter as far as I can tell. But anyway, you can kind of tell there maybe it's not really taupe, it's gray, but it's like kind of on the browner, more neutral side of gray. I mean, gray's neutral, but and then the outside, the outside color of the stripe is called Shorten and Bread. I thought it said Snort and Bread first, like that's not right. Shorten and Bread, and it's a brown. And then so that's like a wide stripe, and then, or maybe it's not that wide, but then like over the top of that, I don't know. It almost looked like it stuck out like a patch, but it's probably just like alternating. It is called Turtle Time. It's green. And if you don't look at it in really bright light, it almost looks black, but it's green. Very, very dark, pretty green. Or if you look at it next to the brown, definitely green. So it's gonna be cool. I like it. I suppose I should get that one started sooner than Nebula, because it's already getting quite a bit cooler here. I don't have my fan on anymore, and it's 71 degrees in the house with nothing running. It's actually I think it's only like 60 degrees outside, 63 degrees here in the Madison, Wisconsin area. I got other stuff. Oh geez. All right. Anyway, I'll put the name of that project in the description. So 2 weeks ago, I went to the Renaissance Festival in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Bristol Renaissance Fair. We have an amazing, huge Renaissance Festival here. And they have had a vendor there for, I don't know, the last however many years we've been going, that is a little yarn shop. And I'm always happy to go in there because I feel like I go in there and I'm like, I don't need any of this stuff. I don't need it. It's just like, I don't know, too neutral, I don't know, not too, just like, I mean, nice, not bad, but just like, I could live without this yarn. I don't need it. But, I always go in anyway, not figuring I'm going to buy anything. And I don't know what my deal is lately about a yak blend or a camel blend. I can't get off that train. And I bought some yarn and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I seem to suddenly, oh my goodness sake, I have another thing. Oh God, it's over there. Okay, yeah. Twice in a week. Because was that Thursday? That was the Saturday before the Thursday that I went to knit night at one of the newer shops in town. And I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, I bought some yarn. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do with this. This is indigo dyed, which is one of the reasons why I was like, oh yay, it's all natural dyes too, which is cool. This is it's yak sock. So I think I think she told me 25% nylon, but it doesn't say. It is a sock weight. Well, yeah, sock weight. Really pretty indigo dyed, and it's a very nice tonal. Very nice tonal. Where's that dark spot? It might look darker to me than to you. Oh, it's here. Doink. Look how dark it gets. That's so cool. So this is going to be a nice pair of yak socks, and it's so nice. Yes, Michelle, we know it's nice. It's yak, it's soft. You should just get over it. And then, oh, did I get 2 socks? Yeah, I got some, this is Cochineal Indigo. Is that gonna be backwards? I always feel like it looks backwards now, and then I watch back and it's actually not backwards, but anyway. I know what indigo is. I don't know what cochineal is. It must be some other kind of plant or natural dye. Oh, more tonalism. Look at that. It's yummy and it's soft. I love it. I just hope that it's pretty color fast. I don't know. There's another big dark pop. I love it. Love it. Couple pairs of socks. The purplish and the blue. All right. And then I got yak silk DK in 3 different colorways. This is the cochineal indigo again, and on that yak silk, it's a little lighter. Silk doesn't take up the dye as greatly as it does in this yak nylon. That's fine, we love it anyway. Also super duper soft. So I got these 3 colorways. So this is the cochineal, oh my god, indigo. This is cochineal, so indigo, blue. Cochineal, this color. Apparently when you mix them together, you get a really nice, pretty purple color. But I tried to pick ones that had more of the tonal. Some of them were a little more saturated all throughout, or not, you know, similar, homogeneous in their color. I tried to find the ones that had a little more tonality. So this is Indigo Weld. I think that's what that says. Indigo Weld, I believe that says weld. Okay, so, and it's kind of sheepy. Well, I guess it'd be yacky. It smells like farm. Anyway, it smells good. But, oh, got a little chaff. It's my Renifer yarn. Huzzah. Okay. There's Naughty at the Ren Fair. Okay. I'm going to shout out to Sugar River Yarns, one of our newest yarn shops in the area. It's in Mount Horeb. I'm so glad you're there. And Stephanie is the owner, and she's delightful. And they are moving to a bigger spot right now as we speak. They're moving into their new shop, a sort of kitty corner across down Main Street in Mount Horeb from where they were. And super excited for that because it's just going to be a bigger retail space, bigger social knitting space, and then also still classroom space. So I'm very, very excited for that for them. They were, as a result of last Thursday night being their last social knitting on Thursday in the old place, we're having, well, not because of social knitting, the last week of being in their old shop, they were having a 15% discount. So who had to just do some yarn shopping and has 2 thumbs? This girl. Any old excuse to buy more yarn. So I thought, well, you know, I'll just get I'll get a skein and make something small, whatever. And I was like, oh, she had that Le Garçon Surrey alpaca. And Stephanie wasn't there last Thursday because I wanted to ask her, like, what was that project you said? If you put the Surrey alpaca from Le Garçon together with, I think it was a yarn called Opus. It's the first time I've seen it, so I'm only familiar with it from looking at it at her shop. I feel like she had a project where you could just do something with just one of each, and it was a small thing, but I don't remember what it was. And so I sat there on Ravelry trying, in my defense, to find something where I could just use one of each of those and make something small. I'm not, unless it's a pair of socks or a hat. I'm not, and I've already talked about how many hats I have in the queue right now for Christmas and stuff. So I'm not adding any more hats right now. Never one to just walk in and say, oh, if I do anything, it'll just be 1 or 2 skeins. No. Apparently, I have decided that I'm going to try to design something. I'll show you. Not the design, because it's still percolating in my head, but how much I bought. It's all caked up already, like I'm ready to go. Oh, sorry. Six skeins of yarn. 3 of the Legarton Surrey alpaca. It's very, very beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's very soft. Then I'm going to hold together. I'm going to take this out of here because I actually, this is Sun Valley Fibers. It is 100% superwash merino worsted weight. Oh, get in there. And I thought maybe this would be really cool to hold together with the Surrey because all of them are variegated. And this is called like, I don't know, Witch's Brew or Witch something. Yeah. So I'm gonna put these two together. I probably don't have any yarn in my stash that looks like this and is called Witching Hour or Witch's Brew or I don't know. And then I'm gonna put, I don't remember, this one's called, I don't know, something like Beach Please or something like that. I don't know why it's not beachy, but that's cool. That's cool. That's cool, Sun Valley. We love you. These two are gonna be held together. And then I think this one's called Smooth Sailing. I'm gonna hold these two together in some kind of just let the yarn do the talking, simple stitch, some shape of shawl with an I-cord all the way around it. So I don't even know that there's gonna be, I don't know, I think it's just gonna be pretty basic. I don't know, I'm thinking about something. I think it's probably gonna be like an asymmetrical, for real. Why do I keep burping? I don't understand. Maybe like an asymmetrical triangle, maybe an isosceles triangle. I don't know. Isn't that the same thing? I'm not a math student. Equilateral triangle? I don't know. A triangle or a triangle, I don't know, whatever. Whatever, I haven't decided. I don't think it's gonna be like a crescent. I think it's gonna definitely be angular. Hang on, let me put this in naughty purchase over here. This poor yarn is like, we're not naughty, you're naughty. You're the naughty one. Naughty. Okay. Again, welcome to Stashdown, where we don't stash down a thing. Okay, but I did finish 3 projects. So, not to cross the streams, and I don't have a whole lot more to go into, I don't think. And I don't have a topic other than, except, finishing a Stashdown, that was a thing. Trying to come up with more stuff like FOMO and, your desert island, this and that. But I can't get anybody to answer me on those questions, so maybe I'll just wait until I get more answers on the questions that are already out there from you guys before I think of more questions. And I guess I gotta hop on the next Stashdown along, or Stashdown alone if no one's going to join me. Please join me. Come on, guys. Come on. This, inside this box, is not new yarn. It is a sock kit from Knit Circus that I've had for a long time. It's going to go with me to Disney on my solo trip, which some of you may be watching my little vlog that I'm doing. then you know that I'm taking a solo trip. I think I mentioned it on here anyway, but that is coming up quickly. And since I'm going to be by myself, I figure anytime I'm waiting in line, I'm going to not feel bad about knitting something. I have taken a project, and back over there. I've taken up, geez. I still, this is on the blocking mats, and I keep like sliding the blocking mats across the floor, sorry. I've taken like just a little walk-in knit small thing with socks in it before, and tried to just have that with me in my little bag, my park bag, to work on stuff when I was there with the kids or whatever. And I just always I feel bad when I'm doing that. Like, I mean, I can talk and pay attention and whatever, but if I'm there with other people, I feel like it just was weird, you know, like wondering if the kids were like, Mom, we were at Disney. Can you not put your knitting down like for 5 minutes ever? But when I'm by myself, nobody's gonna tell me not to knit. People will be like, hey, more of us should be doing that while we're waiting in this long standby line. But anyway, I'm gonna start a couple socks. And normally, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I am a magic loop 2 at a time, usually toe up person. I like toe up. I will do a top down, but I like a toe up. I like that Turkish cast on. Turkish cast on, right? Yeah. And I just, I have so much sock yarn. I just want to do a bunch of like probably DRK everyday socks for now on, because I like the way they fit better. They have that negative ease that, because of the 2x2 ribbon, has a nice negative ease to it. I have one that it's just a vanilla, it's not the vanilla sock pattern, but it's like, I think it's called Pigs in a Blanket. One that I just have, I think it might have even been somebody from the Sousier that wrote the pattern, maybe. It was from a class that I took for 2 at a time toe up socks, and that's where I learned magic loop. And I mean, there's no sock island after that, so that's the best, is doing 2 at a time. But when you're walking knit or you're standing there and you have a magic loop, big like 40-inch needle or whatever, it's just like all over the place and potentially catching on things. And then 2 socks, especially when they get a little longer, it's just kind of unwieldy. So I decided I was going to go with 1 at a time, and I decided to try these Addy Flexi Flips. I haven't used double pointed needles for anything in a long time because I like magic loop a lot. This is kind of almost more like knitting with magic loop than it is knitting with double points. And I got these, they came in the mail, they arrived I think Tuesday, and I started working with them last night. And I actually I always have to watch the tutorial for Turkish, just like I do for tubular bind off or cast on or bind off. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to do it with just these needles, and I'm like, I thought every time I thought I had it and would go to switch sides and do it, and then I would do the second row, and then I'd think I was ready to go. It was like something was wrong. It was like falling apart. I'm like, I'm only partially translating this with my brain with these 3 tools instead of just 1 tool. And so there was a tutorial on YouTube, Turkish cast on with Addy Flexi Flips. So I got them started, and I like it. It's going pretty quickly. I just started these like late last night, and not very far in, but it's 1 sock, so it's going to go super quick. I think what I might do probably is, if I can, I think I'm going to take, because I have another set. I got 2 sets, and I think what I'm going to do is grab another, I have other sock yarn, but I have all of these sock kits from Circus. Ugh. And there's at least one other one in here that's kind of Halloween colors. Where'd he go? And I think I grabbed this because I was using similar colorways with similar colors in them that were kind of coordinating for a shawl. And I think I used the tail end of one of these to finish that shawl. I think is what happened there. So they might not be totally even. So I might, sorry about the crackling. I might do some shorty socks with these, but these are kind of like on brand with my girl Maleficent. What is this color? DDD. Someone knows. Someone here knows. This is Electric Band. Really, they should have called this Maleficent Stripe, because it's gonna stripe out, which is cool. So I think I'm gonna start a second one for this pair as well, so I can switch it up. And I think what I'll do is, at least with this first sock, is get it to the heel turn, because I'm not gonna be standing in line for a ride and trying to figure out a freaking heel. So then all I'll do is it'll be just like a 2x2 rib. And so I'll at least get a toe started on this one. And then if I have to, you know, some night when I'm still awake and I'm in the room, turn the heel. I just don't want to fiddle around with that when I'm standing in line. And what I have found is that, and I'm not taking this bag, I am not like super, in terms of, you know, walking and knitting or whatever like that, travel knitting, walking around, standing around knitting, in a place like Disney World, I don't really have any good walk-in knit bags that are not just like wide open. I love the Beautiful Sister bags. I have I think 2 or 3 of those, but I don't want it to be like not having a zipper closure or something like that. So I have I have one. Okay, I know I have one. I think I have 2, because I think I got one at Rhinebeck and I can't find it. Matter root bags, and they, you know, you can roll them down and like clip them, and like clip buckle closure, and that will also, like, you could leave it open and clip that to, like, you could clip it to your belt loop, I guess, for the sock size bag, and or like my backpack, because I'll have like a light day pack, and so if I'm not using it at all, I'll just stick it in the day pack. If I'm knitting with it, it can be hanging off the side of my backpack strap. So I got a couple like sock project size ones of those to take, and I'm hoping they should be here before I leave, but I know they're en route. I just don't know. I'm hoping they're here maybe Saturday, maybe Monday. They just gotta be here before Friday next week. So, yeah. Anywho, that is that. So, you know, my Disney trip is knitting adjacent, because I'm planning to take, I mean, I always take knitting with me, but I've only a couple times attempted and maybe like gotten a couple stitches. And I honestly did not make a very concerted effort in the end to really do any serious knitting while I was there, but not this time. Oh my gosh, don't throw your pants on the floor like an old dish rag or something. Jeez. Oh my gosh, and another reason why I wanted to make sure I hopped on here tonight that is so exciting is that Wisconsin Sheep and Wool is here. Today is the official day one of Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, but I don't believe they have the vendors open at all until tomorrow. I know they're setting up and stuff, but there's classes and stuff today. On the Thursday, there's always the classes and everything. I'm sure people are still kind of getting moved in. I don't know if there's any sheep stuff going on today. I do know that I did a couple of years ago, 3 years ago now, I guess it was 3 years ago, I took a 2 full day. I think did I show my felted fox? I'll have to look back. I did a wet felting class, a big, it's like a landscape, but not landscape, but it has a fox on it. It's really, really cool. I don't remember if I showed it to you. I'm just gonna grab it. If I showed it to you, look here, we're seeing it again. And then I'm just also gonna show you my rooster, because, oh no. Something in my closet grabbed a hold of something on the edge of this and pulled it. Gosh darn it. Okay, so my first needle felting class was this guy. this chicone. He's a rooster, I guess, yeah. Fun. I don't remember having this much trouble showing these projects, so I don't think I did do this. I love his eye. Eyes are my favorite. I want to get a really cool frame for him. So I took this class at Spry, Lindsey. Of course, I can't remember the name of the teacher, but I had a blast. I loved it. And I was like, well, no, this is not something I would ever do unless I was taking a class. Because, oopsie, oh my goodness. Because I just could not sit down and figure that out. Or have it's, you know, I'm more motivated to do it when there's a class. This is going to be harder to show. This was the one that was the 2-day class at Cheatham 3 years ago. Same lady, but this is a slightly different technique. This is wet felting. And it took the full 2 days, but I loved it. Again, where'd he go? His eye. I love it. The eyes are fun. I have a really good time doing eyes. I still have PTSD from this class because it was a full 2 days where everybody else was doing the sheep and wool thing and I was in a class all day. And I had the FOMO. But that was also the year that I took a break because I knew that the vendors were open. Maybe it wasn't Thursday, Friday. Maybe it was Friday, Saturday. And I really did miss out on knitting with my friends for like, most of the time that they were there knitting. I think they were there both days, but I think a couple of them took classes, but not like the crazy 2-day class. It was fun. I'm so glad I did it, but I still like, I mean, in terms of taking classes, people are like, taking classes? I'm like, oh my God, no, I'm still like, I'm not over like the long period of time that I took taking the class 3 years ago for 2 whole days. I can't do that again. But that was the year that I got Maleficent. I picked her up at Sheep and Wool. So anyway, I'm very, very excited about it. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna do my best to not buy anything from Fiber Optics. I cannot promise I will not buy anything from anyone. But Fiber Optics, oh God, like I did not want to take an hour tonight, but we're getting there. I have a halibut sweater, I'll call it kit. I bought the yarn for a halibut sweater at Rhinebeck. I bought the yarn for a marled Stephen West sweater. That was the thing that I knew I was going to get at Rhinebeck. And that sweater, I think that was I was saying before, is either split for sleeves or I'm about to split for sleeves. I think I did actually split and then started on a little bit, but that one's sitting in a bag downstairs. I should probably get to that. I have that from Fiber Optics. And at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool last year, before we went to Rhinebeck, and I got those 2 sweater quantities, I got 2 full shawl quantities at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. One of which I started right away, and it's beautiful, but then I got to a place where it looked funky. It's a really complicated pattern. The whole thing is absolutely stupidly stunning. It's all different mini skeins, but all of the mini skeins are, I think they're all gradiated, or they're variegated, and then you just, I'll pull that. That might have to be, it's not the most languishing whip, but I might have to just get that out and just be like, listen, you're gonna finish up something from Fiber Optics. But it's rainbow. Oh my God, it's so pretty. And it's the coolest stitch pattern. And they had a sample of it last year, which is what got me. It's their samples that get me. Because they always have, like, they're very much into, like, displaying a bunch of Stephen West stuff. But every year there's something where I'm just like, oh my God, what is that? And that's what happened. That was the other shawl kit that I bought. It was like, oh, that's so pretty. I love it. It's another Stephen West. It's called River Rock or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but I just like, my eyeballs went zoing when I saw it, and I got it, and it's not even caked up. It's in Hanks. So I have to try to resist the Fiber Optics, but I don't know. I know that I'm going to go over to Honey Gold Acres, get some more fiber from her. Just know I will. I know I will. Otherwise, I'm kind of looking for maybe a basket. Maybe this is my year to get a basket. I'm not sure. I think about that every year, and then I just don't pull the trigger. I might look at some more, a different size flexi flip, because I got size 1s Both sizes are size 1s because that's typically the size I use for sock weight fingering white yarn socks. But I kind of want to try a DK pattern, or maybe just figure out the DRK every day in the DK weight. And so I think I might maybe want to get like a size 2. So I want to see if anybody has those. If I don't, I know Sugar River has them, so I'll get them from her. There is one colorway of yarn that I want to get from my friend Melissa. I've lost it. Anyway, I remember the colorway. It's Earth to Sky. Why, Melissa? Why? No, right now I'm really hoping that you don't watch these because I'm blanking on your yarn, on the name of your yarn. Some of you are probably yelling at me. It's this. Yes, it is. Anyway, we were in Mineral Point this last weekend and went to the station. I had not been there before. They have been a vendor at Madison Knitters Guild before, but I'd not been in the store. And they had not the through lines, but the let's get into the end. I need to stop. Nightlight stall that I'm also working on right now. But they did it in Melissa's yarn. 4 Crows Fibers. Right? Anyway, oh my God. Having a major senior moment. In the colorway, I think it's called Earth to Sky. So pretty. And I sat there, wow, oh my God. And it's Earth to Sky, and then she did it with, like, she paired it with, I can't remember the name of the color. Is it Road to China, or is that just the name of the base? Anyway, I think that was the brand of yarn. And this pretty green color, lighter than the green that I showed you for my t-shirt. And it was stunning because it was just like, instead of like, you know, because this is through lines, but you know, it's kind of like where it's striped and then it has the slip stitches that go, like they alternate your base color and your color that switches. Like if you're doing dyed in the wool, there's like a slip, each stripe, there's like, it's stripes, but then it like slip stitches up this way. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It looks so different when you're doing a solid and a variegated versus like a solid and a color changing. And it was just like, what is this? It almost looks like a different pattern. It's really cool. But this Earth to Sky, I think it's called, colorway was like, oh. And then she also had from some of the leftover, she just did some knits, and just to see it just knit up, you know, it's just how variegated yarn does, but it's just like all of the colors in that colorway are just, and I thought I'm just gonna hold out. Maybe I'll get it right from Melissa if she's got it at Sheep and Wool. And I think that was a DK weight that I saw. She had both, I think. But anyway, I think I'm gonna get a skein of that and make some socks and try the flexi flips in a size 2. So I might look for those. Other than that, it's gonna just be me like choking down not buying something from Fiber Optics, but I already feel like back of my brain's like, that's the, you know, the devil over here is like, baloney, you're gonna be buying something. I'll be sure to share it with you when I do. All right, anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I have some Fat Squirrel bags coming. All the ones that I had my friend Emily pick up at the retreat that she went to this summer. There's 3 of them. She still has them, so I'll get those from her on Saturday. And I just ordered 2 of the Halloween pattern bags from Fat Squirrel. And Amy, the Fat Squirrel, is going to be there. She's friends with Emily and a bunch of people that I spin with and knit with. And I met her last year. I think I said that, but she'll be there again. So I'm excited to see her again and say, thank you for fueling my addiction to your bags. Yeah, so I will soon have 5 more Fat Squirrel bags. All right, that's it. So, you know, get out there and get your fiber on, and I'll see you next time when I come back. You know, your favorite addict when she comes back to talk to you again in the next episode.